What is up, ladies and gentlemen? As usual, we managed to have a whole bunch of tech challenges right before we got going, but we are here. We are with you, and we are excited. So happy to be with y'all this evening. We're going to jump into this. There we go. We'll get this right eventually. I like that view. That's the appropriate view.
That's a new view.
All right. We've got it all situated. Okay. Welcome. Sorry for the technical challenges. Tonight, we are going to be talking about foreclosures because there are national numbers that just came out from Q3 that I want to discuss. I want to talk about what's happening here in Florida because, ladies, 5 Florida metro areas are on this list leading the country in foreclosures, which I think is worth talking about. Definitely want to get into that. And for those of you who know who we are, welcome. And for those of you who are new, first and foremost, welcome to Tampa Talk Live. We do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We talk about what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. We're here, local real estate agents here in Tampa. I got Stacy Amon with me this evening. Good evening, Stacy.
Good evening, everyone. Happy to be back this week.
We are happy to have you too. We missed you for sure. Stacy's up in Pasco County. She was out hanging with the fam. That's what we told everybody. So that's cool. We got Miss Madison down in St. Petersburg. Good evening, Madison.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, excited to be with y'all. And both these ladies have some great topics for everyone this evening, which I'm excited to get into. Number one, we are definitely going to be talking about foreclosures tonight. I need to get into the details because, like a lot of things, that we read online, not everything is true, but some of it is. And we need to figure out what that is, if it's important to you. So definitely want to dig into that. I want to say hello to our viewers. What is up, Carol? Good evening.
Hi, Carol.
Carol in the house. I love it. We got Michael with us as well, sir. Good evening, Michael. Good to have you. Yeah, and we're going to get into this topic. Also, the ladies have something on deck for you, and I don't want to steal their thunder. So, Stacy, what are you going to be discussing this evening? What's the topic you got?
I'm going to be talking about something so fun: home inspections.
It is fun.
Oh.
Listen,
not very fun, but important. Very important.
It's fun when you have a good one.
True. That is true.
It is not necessarily the funnest thing when you don't have a good one. So I think that there's some validity in that. And I think it's definitely worth reviewing. What's up, John? Good to have you with us this evening, sir. Welcome to the conversation. Love to know where you guys are watching from. Please feel free to ask questions throughout the night as well. We want you to know that this is we try to keep it as engaging and as casual as possible. We are going to get into the weeds, right? Madison's got some cool stuff for us this evening. Madison, what are we going to be talking about?
Tonight, I am going to be talking about a new construction community that just broke ground in Parrish. And then I'm also going to be talking about another new construction community in Parrish. It's basically like a sister community to a more established neighborhood, and talking about their clubhouse as well. So
nice. Okay. Well, we're going to get in the weeds there a little bit. We've got a California viewer. What up? Gerardo's in the house. Welcome. Love it. Vlad the man, what is up, Vlad? Vlad asked where the home tour was on Saturday. And Vlad, as much as I'd love to do that, my significant other, the boss, head of household, says no fly zone on showing the interior of this house. So I have to respect that, and we're happy to have you for dinner, my man. When you land permanently, we'll make arrangements to do that, and you can check out the house then. But definitely happy to have that conversation. Allegra, what is happening? She says, "Hi, team, made it in time tonight."
yay!
Love it. Yoda, we got Yoda in the house. We always call ourselves Yoda, but apparently we're late to the party here, and. I had to laugh, Stacy. I was talking to one of my friends today, and he went to a conference in Dallas, and he's in the brick, block, and stone business. He's a mason by trade, and he was in there. They were talking about marketing and all these other things, and they have a team there that helps coach them through it. And he called the team name. Their guides are called Prophet Sherpas. I was like, that's such a good name. And he was like, yeah, you can take it. I'm like, no, I don't think we can call ourselves Gator Sherpas. That's probably inappropriate. So we won't go that direction. Right. But shout out to Yoda. I love it, man. Welcome. tuning in from San Jose. That's awesome. And then we've got Ann's is in the house. Good evening. Good to see you as well. So yeah, let's get into some of these topics. I want to cover a few things. I want to give you guys a little bit insight as how we're going to approach this conversation. Obviously, there is a ton to talk about, right? We can get in the weeds. The thing that I learned a long time from a really good mentor of mine is you can take data and you can use it for any argument, right? You can position any argument with data. And I know I said the D word. Sometimes people freak out when I say that. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I promise that these ladies are going to do their best to keep me from like getting crazy nerdy. All right. And I've worked really hard to make this digestible for everyone in a way that I think makes sense. So if you're watching this later, do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know this content was valuable. Make a comment. That's how we come with the info about what's important, right? Like we had to reach out this week via Instagram. And if you're wondering how to get hold of us on Instagram, every one of our Instagram handles is right on that screen right there. So you can see that. I feel like we're starting to look like a soccer thing up here. What's happening right now with all the freaking banners and everything going on here. So I don't know how to take the one thing down. But anyways, one of the questions was, hey, can you talk about the run clubs? Right, the run clubs in all over the area. So we're definitely going to get into that topic too, because I wanted to get into that. There's a ton of that going on, but I really wanted. Wait, John came with a really. I got to pull this up. He says, "There's an old saying: there are no lies, demand lies and statistics." There you go. I love it. Damn lies and statistics. So we're going to get into this tonight, and I want to try to be as objective as possible. I want to start with the truth. The truth is, I am a licensed realtor. Stacy is a licensed realtor. Madison is a licensed realtor. That means that we are rewarded for helping people execute on their dream. I'm not going to apologize to anybody for that. That's part of what makes me nerdy on this. But I also want to recognize that I have bias around real estate about what it is. So I'm sharing that with you so you can just understand that I'm trying to be as transparent and objective as I possibly can when we discuss this. What you do with the information is what's important, not what someone on YouTube tells you, right? So that's the thing that I always try to pull ahead. We're trying to arm you with the resources, and I'm going to share all of the information that we have this evening in the description after this video. Okay, so y'all can check this out. I don't want to give it to you now because you'd be distracted looking at other things. But I want to give this information to you and just try to be a sensible voice about what's happening in there. Because the headlines, if I pull up 10 headlines right now, they're all going to say foreclosures are exploding. Right. And we need to figure out what that actually means. We need to define what an exploding foreclosure crisis actually looks like. Right. So we're going to get into that. I definitely want to get into the girls' topic. So I'm going to try to move through this pretty quickly. All right. But I definitely wanted to start off here because I think this is a great place to start. OK, now, what am I starting with here? This week, a company called ATTOM launched its Q3 foreclosure numbers. They're a great resource. They're one of those places that big banks go to for their data. They do such a good job of collecting information, and they go to them for that info. Real estate agents and other professionals will use their tools. Now, this Tampa Bay Business Journal that you're looking at, this article, something I subscribe to. It's awesome. It keeps me in the loop of everything that's happening in Tampa from the perspective of business and real estate and commercial, all the development stuff that's going on in the area. I'd like to know with you guys because we talk about it on these shows, right, ladies?
Yep.
Right. So we subscribe to as much information as we can get. Now, this article is specific to us, obviously, but the national article, which I want to go to first, is where this all started from. Okay, so here's the national article from ATTOM. All right, and what it is the U.S. foreclosure activity increased annually in Q3 of 2025. Okay, cool. That doesn't sound like gloom and doom. They get into a whole thing. I'm not going to read the entire article like I do to you guys on a lot of things because I want to keep it a little bit more brief than usual and just get to the meat and the potatoes. But one of the things that jumps out right away, ladies, is this is U.S. foreclosure starts. Okay, we're going to be looking at 3 charts on this article specifically. So it's important to follow along, y'all. Okay, 3 different charts. Now, what is a U.S. foreclosure start? Foreclosure has a process. Okay, that process takes time. As a matter of fact, the average in the United States right now is about 603 days.
Wow.
Okay. Now that's an average. So that's everywhere from California to Florida. There's a lot of variance in between. Okay. We're not going to get too far in those weeds tonight, but why I'm sharing that with you is because what that says is it is over a 1.5 year long process on average from a foreclosure start to an actual foreclosure taking place. That's a long time. And we're going to talk about why tonight. We're going to talk about why you're most likely not going to see this big deluge of properties hit the market like you did in 2010. We're going to get into the weeds here, but I want to start here because a foreclosure start is not a foreclosure. Okay, can everybody say that with me? A foreclosure start is not a completed foreclosure. What it is the beginning of this process. And for those of you who may not know, your mortgage is due on whatever date the contract says, but in the United States, it usually says first. The first of every month for almost everyone we've ever served, right? So here's what most people don't know. Technically on day 2, you are in pre-foreclosure. Now, that doesn't mean a foreclosure has been started, but it does send a signal to the internal team at the bank that, hey, we might have a problem. Okay, tracking? Y'all tracking with me? I want to say hello to our people that jumped in late. Who do we have? Jane jumped in. What's up, Jane? Good to see you. So happy you're here. She's talking to Carol, which is great. I love it. Feel free to have a conversation in the chat, y'all. That's where the people hang out. And Stockton joined us this evening as well. Good evening. All right. Yeah, love it. So U.S. foreclosure starts. And here's the thing I want you guys to understand. I know this is really small. I can't make it any bigger. But on the left end of this chart is 2005. Okay, that's how far back this chart goes. So this is 20 years of data. 2009 is this big giant peak that everybody sees in the middle, the big scary one, right? And then as we work our way down, 2013, 2015, if you're following my mouse isn't on the screen, forgive me. But as you hit that rock bottom, do you ladies see towards the right, the last quarter on the right where it just drops out in the bottom there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, that is year 2020. Does anybody remember what happened then? Did the world shut down? Right. And you weren't allowed to foreclose on people. The government stepped in and says, time out. You're going to do loan modifications. You're going to figure it out. You're not getting these people out of their homes. We're in a global pandemic. We're going to figure this out. Right. So I want to make sure you guys understand what it is. And then foreclosures bounced back up because all of those programs expired. But here's what I want you to recognize. Even with that, foreclosures are still under what they were under in 2019 and 2020. Okay. And historically speaking, especially for the last 20 years, we are still at historic lows. So this is something I want everybody to understand. So starts are up, meaning U.S. foreclosure starts, not completed. That's the first chart I want to show you. The second one is the U.S. properties with foreclosure filings. So this means that they went from a pre-foreclosure where they didn't actually pay on the second of the month. The bank's been back and forth with them. Typically, this is about a 90-day process before they actually go ahead and file a foreclosure proceeding. It's usually about 90 days before you get to that point, y'all. Okay. Every bank's a little bit different. They have the ability to call the notes earlier, but on average, it's 90 days. Look at your state laws. They'll give you some specificity around this. Okay. But when is it filed? So we got starts versus filings. Okay. Meaning that the bank has filed at the court. They have given the court a notice that, hey, we are intending to foreclose on this property. All right. That makes sense, ladies? We tracking? So we went from starts of hey, we got a potential fire here to we are officially going to the court steps and filing this foreclosure document. Okay. So that's the second one you see. Does this chart look similar to this chart in terms of the lines? The dates are the same. This is going back to 2005. See how they look very similar? Yeah. Right? So you've got the same path here. So this is something to take note of. Now, U.S. foreclosure filings were up significantly higher in 2007 and 8 versus the chart you just saw on the starts. Okay, but let's get into this is the important one. Right? How many actual foreclosures have taken place in the United States? Okay, and you're looking back at the same 20-year period from 2005 on the left to 2025 on the right. And what I want you to take note of is where that bottomed out in 2020. Ladies, do you see how we have not had a rebound in actual foreclosure since that happened?
Yep. Yeah.
Right. So I want everybody to understand here as we go through this data, it's important to keep the actual, what's important, the truth of it in front of you. Because remember, people are going to give you big numbers like foreclosures are up 100% or 200%. Well, I'm going to show you some numbers in our counties where foreclosures went from 1 foreclosed property to 3 foreclosed properties. That's a 200% increase, right? Right. And we're not there, 300%. Okay. So we're not there, but here's the actual foreclosure. Look how low those are historically speaking. Okay. Remember, this is the United States. This isn't Tampa specific yet, but I'm getting into this information because I want people to see this. Okay. This is an independent third party that's giving you this information. This is not crafted by Juan, right? This is public info. You can go look up ATTOM, and it follows along with the Federal Reserve's data. Okay. So that's where they're pulling this to. This is powerful information. Okay. Now, again, foreclosure starts are up. That's true. Foreclosure filings are up. Also true. You can see we have an increase here in Q3, right? The gray is 2005. So Q1, Q2, and Q3. It's been up. It's been tracking up the whole time, right? Foreclosures completed. Same thing. Q1, Q2 through 3. That number is almost identical to the actual filings. But here's what I want to get to. The average days to complete a foreclosure. So first and foremost, I want to recognize the truth. There is no wave of foreclosures coming right now. Can we all take an objective look at this together and say, historically speaking, we do not have a foreclosure issue in the United States. The data says that. That's an objective look at the data. Now, there's an old saying, whenever your neighbor loses their job, right, it's a recession. Whenever you lose your job, it's a what? Depression, right? Right? So I am empathetic to the cause here, y'all. I understand if they're taking your home, the world is no arguments about that. But what I want you to understand is historically speaking, we are still at all times lows, and that's data, not me. Now, why are foreclosures, even if we're up and you're waiting for this magic foreclosure to come your way, from the time it's filed to the time it gets completed is an average of 608 days. And I want to read some of these numbers below here because it's wild. States with the longest average of foreclosures, foreclosure timelines for homes foreclosed in Q3 2025 were Louisiana at 3,600 days.
Wow.
It's a long time.
That's 10 years.
That's a
on average. It takes Louis. So listen, y'all, if you are somebody who is you're planning on squatting legally, Louisiana is the place to go do it. 10 years. All right. Nevada at 2,667 days. Rhode Island at 1,900 days. New York, 1,800 days. And Hawaii, 1,700 days on average to get someone out of the home that they haven't paid for in 1,800 days to 3,600 days, which is wild. Now, let's keep going. States with the shortest average foreclosure times for homes foreclosed in Q3 of 2025 were West Virginia at 135 days, Texas at 154, Virginia at 160, Wyoming at 165, and Montana at 174 days. The average is 608. So, the fastest. Notice that Florida is not on this chart. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. Right? Y'all tracking with me? Florida is not in that number either for the longest or the shortest. So why I'm sharing that with you is because we know our average is longer than at least 174 days from the time that the foreclosure filing takes place to actual foreclosure. So if anyone is thinking, I'm seeing all this noise about foreclosures, and I'm going to show you more data that says Florida has challenges, right? But if you're waiting for this, you're going to be waiting a while. Not 10 years like Louisiana. Stacey, when I read that, I was like, I need to get my glasses checked. Right? Does that really say 10 years? 3,600 days?
Yeah.
That is wild. Y'all, if you think that's crazy, let me know in the chat. I think that's absolutely just mind-blowing to me. Shout out to Kevin who just rolled in. Good evening, Kevin. Great to have you, brother. He says, I can finally work 5 days a week. Yeah, the season's drying out. It's wonderful, by the way. So we are in full fake fall right now. Sandra's in the house. What up, Sandra?
Hello.
Good to have you. Recovering Madison. I can't stand that. Okay. We need to figure out how to put me at the bottom. That's what's going on. Okay. So we got into that. This chart here, it actually gets down into the nitty gritty. I'm not going to go into all of this with you guys. I just wanted to share this with you. And I've got one more thing to share at the bottom here. Okay. The report conclusion, which is the important part. It says this: foreclosure activity continued its gradual upward trend in Q3 of 2025, with both starts and completions posting annual increases. While overall levels remain relatively low by historical standards, the consistency of these gains over consecutive quarters highlights a market that may be slowly shifting amid broader economic pressures. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Now, I want to get into the Florida specific info. If that's what you tuned in for, this is where we're at right now. I want to show you this. Lakeland, Winter Haven had the highest foreclosure rate in the country in Q3. Okay, we're going to get into some of these stats here. Let me share this tab with y'all. Okay, this is from Tampa Bay Business Journal, what I opened with, and then I want to get down into the nitty gritty of this. So here's where it's at, ladies. Okay, Lakeland was not only Lakeland was not the only Florida metro to experience foreclosure pain last quarter. The Sunshine State is home to 5 of the 10 highest foreclosure rates last quarter. These include Lakeland, Winter Haven. 1 in every 470 homes has had a foreclosure start on it. Okay, Cape Coral came in at number 3 on the list. This is nationally, 240 metros, by the way. 220 metros. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, 1 in every 589 homes. Okay. Alcalá came in at 1 in every 665. Jacksonville, 1 in every 673. And Palm Bay, Melbourne, Titusville area came in at 1 at 683. Okay. Now I want to read this last part. The Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, MSA fared better. Metro statistical area is what that is. Okay. With a foreclosure rate, 1 of every 1,185 housing units. While still higher than a national level, it was a better rate than the rest of Florida, with the exception of Gainesville, 1 in 1,434, Naples, 1 in 1,630. Also, this marked an improvement in conditions. One more time, an improvement in conditions as foreclosures decreased in Tampa Bay 5% from Q2 and 13% year over year. This marked one of the biggest year over year percentage decreases in the country. Say it with me, y'all. In the country. So, shout out to my peeps. Shout out to Tampa Bay. We're rocking and rolling, y'all. I love this. Yeah, I'm gonna get into some weeds here. We had another question here. Let me pull this down really quick, and then I'm gonna pop this stuff back up because I got a few more things to show you guys, because that typically leads to more questions. Why? Right, ladies? Why? Mm-hmm. What's happening? Right? So Gerardo asked a question. Any ideas the homeowner reason for small foreclosure upticks? We can get into some of the speculations. I was doing my best to. Gerardo, I would love to nerd out for 3 hours on this. I'm not allowed to. Because we could get into layoffs. We could get in the overall economy. Dude, I could go 6 ways from Sunday. But I'm trying to stay on task tonight. It's a great question. There's a lot of pressure economically, and that has a lot to do with it. People are losing their jobs. That's not been a huge problem here in Tampa. Our foreclosure rate is still significantly below the national average. I think we're hovering around 3.4. We're 4.5 nationally. Like, a lot of things to like about that. Okay, so I just wanted to share that part of it. But I do want to talk about this objectively as well, right? Get into why. Okay, so let's talk about why we're most likely not going to see all these foreclosures. Well, we know it takes an average of 600 days. We know that Florida is more than 174 days on average, because we didn't even rank in the top 5 there, right? We know that statistically, we had the best improvement in the United States in Q3. Shout out to Tampa Bay on that one, right? But I want to talk about some of the other reasons. And what you're looking at here is an article that came from, it's called Fast Company, which is a real estate company, but you can find this anywhere. The Federal Reserve has this data as well. And this is from July 29th of this year, because that's when they had the data. It said the real reason a staggering 40% of U.S. homeowners are mortgage free. So I want to pull back here a second. 40% of residential real estate in the United States does not have a mortgage on it. And my guess is, and I didn't get too far in the weeds, if we looked at Naples, ladies, do you think that that is a heavy-handed area where homes are owned outright without mortgages?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's why you would most likely see a lack of foreclosures in that area, right? We know we have a lot. We had 30% cash purchases for 3 years here in Tampa Bay. Stacy and I, before Madison got on this team, were doing a lot of cash deals.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean a lot, y'all. So think about it. People aren't in trouble if they don't own a mortgage, number one. So that's the first thing I want to share with you. Number two, this is the other thing. We haven't been talking about this a lot recently, but remember that there is this thing called the lock-in effect. They were talking a lot about this 2 years ago, right? Y'all, you ladies remember this?
I do.
So 40% of the homeowners in the United States don't have a mortgage outright, and more than 81% of homeowners have a mortgage rate below 6%, and they ain't budging. Rates today are right around 632, but I want to show you all this chart because this is important. This is on realtor.com, public info. You can go look it up. And this is the share of those broke down. And I'm just going to read this really quick. The chart starts at the top. The blue at the top is 6%. The orange is 5 to 6%. The salmon is 4 to 5%. The turquoise or whatever color that is in between is 3 to 4% mortgages, and underneath is less than 3% mortgages. 27%.
I'm jealous.
So I want to read this. So let me just read this line. Just under a third of outstanding mortgages, 32.7%, have an interest rate between 3 and 4%. 17.9 have a rate between 4 and 5, and 9.9 between 5 and 6, and 18% of a rate of greater than 6%. So only 18%, almost 19% of our total mortgages in the United States are even above 6%. Y'all, most people can make their mortgage payments working at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. Okay. I know that there's people, I know our viewers go watch the channels where they talk about gloom and doom. Tampa Bay is doomed. The irony of that is the person who does the most of that talking moved to St. Pete this year, by the way. That person now lives in St. Petersburg, Florida, and runs around talking about how we've been in a bubble for 4 years, according to that guy. There's been a crash every month coming for 4 years, according to that guy. And I'm not calling anybody by names. Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Because everybody watches that crap. Nobody reads the truth. So I'm here tonight, just sharing the objective data. You do what you want with that. All right. I know we got a little bit in the weeds, ladies. Was that pretty like tame for the most part?
Oh yeah, definitely for you.
John, there you go, calling people by name. I wasn't going to do it, but you know, if it happens, it happens. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, right? Listen to this. Gerardo says they're trying to scare away people. That if you look in the comments of our videos, 100% that is true.
Yeah.
Right. They will tell you that the sky is falling here. There's no doubt about that. Okay. The point is not to say I told you so, y'all. I'm just trying to share the objective truth so everybody can look at the information together. I will put these resources in the chat once this video uploads tonight. Okay. So you guys can go look at this. Look at it for yourself. What is important to you? We've already talked about other factors that could affect our market in the future, but those are speculation. I don't know if we're going to get taxes eliminated, but y'all, if we do, it's a game changer for Florida real estate. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
For a primary residence, meaning that you have to live here, you have to call that your home address, you have to get bills there. That's true. That's going to be a game changer for a lot of households. Stacy, myself, Matt, all of our clients, we can go down the list forever. Homeowners in Florida they're going to be blessed. I also understand there will be challenges in the back end that we can't see yet. I get it. Okay. But I wanted to share this truth. Now, last couple things I just want to share with y'all. We're just going to blow through these really quick so we can get to the girls. The ladies have something far more important to share than me nerding out about foreclosure data. Okay. So this is monthly distressed in the month of August. Remember, that's the last data we got. We won't get September's data until the third week of this month. Okay. So bear with us. But this is distressed single family homes. So foreclosures are up 2% or 200%. Remember when I told you that before? Right? If you just jump from 1 to 3, 200%. If you go from 3 to 9, 200%. I know that sounds like a lot. There are 3.3 million people living in the metro statistical area. That is nothing. And what we also know is those foreclosures were started at least 175 days ago. Right. So those are a little bit back in the Wayback Machine. So this is for Pinellas County, St. Pete, Clearwater specifically, where we live. Okay. Well, let's head up to Pasco County, where Stacy is. Wesley Chapel, Odessa, Land O'Lakes, San Antonio, the areas that are popping off up there. Okay. Angelina is an example. Let's get into their distress numbers. What do we got here? Distressed. Yeah. Cool. Up 166%. They went from 3 to 8 closed sales. Not a lot, y'all. It's not. And look at the number. The foreclosure number went from 138,000 on average, on the median there, to it jumped 100 grand. All right. So that could that's wild when you look at it. And the last one is Hillsborough County, and then we're going to shut this down and get into the ladies' topics here. But here we are with Hillsborough County. Same thing. Single family homes. We went. And there is no increase in Hillsborough County, which is where Tampa is, Riverview, Brandon, West Chase, Lithia, Lutz, New Tampa, those areas there, just so you guys have perspective on what cities fall underneath that county. There's more, of course, Plant City, but just to give you perspective on this, 0 increase on the number of foreclosures. Okay. So again, the point of this tonight was not to say you should or shouldn't do. The point is for us to look at this as objectively as we can and try to make good decisions based upon what we're trying to accomplish from a household perspective, because everybody needs 4 walls and a roof. Question is, should you rent or buy? For a lot of people? A lot of people have been betting on foreclosures for 4 years as prices have continued to rise. I know we're seeing price decreases here, but it was still a 68% run up. We're now only down to 58% of the equity if you bought 4 years ago. Right. Right. So like, I get it. Right. I get it. But we're trying to be objective with the data. How does this affect you? What's important to you and your family? Those are the things I want to give you. So again, wrapping this up in a bow, foreclosures are up. The starts are up. The completes are up. However, it's not the same everywhere. And from Lakeland to Cape Coral to Tampa, it's entirely different, right? Tampa Bay has the biggest decrease in foreclosures in the United States as of Q3. Will that trend continue in Q4? We won't know until January, but we'll dig into that number for you guys so you can wrap your mind around it, right? A lot of info, ladies, but pretty powerful stuff, right?
Very interesting.
Yes.
Awesome. I know. That was it. That's all I can take. John says,
I have no idea how much we listen to you nerd out on numbers throughout the week. So.
That's right. They don't know, but that's okay. And this is, y'all, I grew up in a household that never talked about things that matter. And I don't mean this is the most important thing to you in your household, but I wasn't even qualified to understand what any of this meant. Right. Yeah. So I don't want our clients to be in a situation. I know a lot of our clients are very knowledgeable about the market. So we always try to just make sure that we're in the same lane as you guys and we're swimming with you, so to speak. Right. John says a realistic bear. Ben Greco from Punta Gorda admitted that lately sales have been up significantly in his area. And they might be. We don't sell down there. So it's hard for us to say, John. But I mean, they've been down for quite a while now down in that area. So seeing an uptick is possible, right? It is possible. And this is the time of year. I want to remind everybody as well, y'all, we're coming into season here in Florida, right? Kevin jumped on the live stream and he said, the dry season has finally arrived, right? He said it's over. Like the humidity is dropping. And what typically follows after the humidity drops, ladies?
Beautiful weather.
The cold.
Yes. But in terms of people, snowbirds, right?
Oh,
Everybody
snowbirds.
starts coming south. Exactly.
Mhm.
So that is the thing to understand is like now the Midwesterners, the Northeasterners, the people from the West or the Midwest, they're going to start coming to Florida and inspecting and finding out if this is right for them. We know what's coming next. We're used to this at this point, but hopefully this information helped you. If you have more questions about this specifically or where we got the data from, again, I'll put it in the description down below. If this added value to you, please do me a favor, hit the like button. And I know a lot of you aren't subscribed to the channel. If you hit that subscription notification, it'll go off when we do videos like this. All right, so happy to help out. I got the big smiley love eyes from Sandra. That's a win for me. She says Juan is fired up. Yes, I am. Because I'm tired. People, all we do is read headlines, and I get caught up in this too. Right? I get caught up in this too. But we need to look at all of the data. Right, and how is it going to affect us? So shout out to that. Dom is in the house. What is up, my brother, dude? I was thinking about you this week, actually. Not heard from you guys forever. Hopefully you guys are doing well, man. All right, let's get into and tell Steph we said hello and good evening. If she's sitting next to you, 2-hand wave for you. Dom only gets 1-hand wave. Cool. All right, so let's get into what we got going on. Let's head up to Pasco first. Well, let's do it this way. Madison, I want to go to you for one. Stacy, I'm going to come to you for the inspections, and then we can go back to Madison. She's got 2 topics, but
Okay.
I don't want to stack home inspections right on top of data
Got it.
because I know everybody will go on a bathroom break, and that's just not fair. Unfair to you. So let's get into it. All right, Madison, what do you got going on for us? Where are we headed first?
Yes, we're going to head to the Oakfield Trails community in Parish.
Definitely do that. All right. Rock it out, sis. The floor is yours.
Yes. Yes. So this is basically going to be, I guess you could say, like, quote unquote, sister community to the Oakfield Lakes that's already established and building in Parish. But this community is going to be directly across the street. And something that's interesting about Oakfield Trails than Oakfield Lakes is that it's actually going to have more home builders in the community. So right now in the Lakes community, there's only D.R. Horton and Centex. But the Trails community is going to have Pulte, Homes by West Bay, Ashton Woods, D.R. Horton, and Meritage Homes. So a lot more home builders are going to be there, which is awesome. And a lot of the builders have already started breaking ground with construction in regards to their models. A lot of them are going to be finished in November, and they're actually starting to sell. So that's awesome. And
the Meritage Homes?
Yes. Yep. And that clubhouse for that community, it's going to be awesome. It's going to have like a restaurant. It's going to have pickleball courts, tennis courts, resort-style pools, events planning, dining, fitness centers, wellness centers. I've even heard that there's going to be a lake of some sort in the community to go kayaking. So I have to confirm with that on some sales reps that I work in that community. But yeah, a lot of exciting stuff going on. And if you live in the Oakfield Lakes community, you can have access to this clubhouse for that's going to be in the Trails community. So,
okay. So Oakfield Trails is right across the street from Oakfield Lake.
Yes.
Just want to make sure I've got this dialed in. So this is right off of Moccasin Wallow Road, correct? Inside of, I just want to make sure I got this. Yeah, because it's right by the Publix, right by the golf course there. For those who are asking, Gusto asked specifically if we can drop the map. Yep, let me zoom out here just quickly and give you some insights. So here's the area right off of Moccasin Wallow Road. So that's the area there, which is great. Oakfield Trails is here. Yeah, this is a big development overall. Just north of 301, where all the There's a Lowe's over there, all the shopping you can need. There's breweries and all the other stuff. This right here is like 30 minutes to St. Pete Beach and 25 minutes to downtown St. Pete.
Yeah.
Super close, y'all.
Yeah, it's going to be really big. And they're also building at the front of the community. There's going to be a Publix. There's going to be like a little shopping center so you can drive the golf carts up there. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Okay, that's a great community. We'll have to get out there and check it out for everybody. Like I shared with everybody before, we are getting back heavy this winter into new developments and new communities. So you're going to see a lot of home tours from these ladies, a lot of community tours from the team here as well. So we'll get you dialed in on those guys. Love that, Madison. That's great. Any other specifics you want to share about that? I mean, talking about the home builders there, going from DR Horton and Syntex, which we consider like entry level or budget builders there, going into Homes by West Bay. Who else was there? Pulte. You're talking about a lot of semi-custom home builders. These aren't full custom homes, y'all. These are like, they'll have 10 floor plans, but they'll allow you to do a lot of modifications. MI as an example. These ladies are always in homes like this. You hear Stacy talk about it all the time, and Madison. But who's your favorite home builder out there currently? Madison, just so you can give perspective to the team. We're not saying they're the best. Who is your favorite?
I mean, I was just in a Pulte home, and I really liked Pulte. I love Homes by West Bay too. I love the options that they give out to clients, and I just love like the overall design and look. But I think all are great.
She's playing France right now, yo.
Yeah.
She's playing France. That's okay. That's okay. We appreciate it. Cool. Any other news of note on that?
Nope. I know that so for the specific clubhouse, it's going to be called the Harvest Club. So it's going to be like the private social club. They're still trying to figure out the fees for that. I did speak with the sales rep, and he did say, as of now, it could change, but as of now, the first initiation fee to join the club is $800. But the HOA for it a month is still up in the air.
Stacy, is she breaking up to you too? Is that just me?
Nope.
Yeah, she's breaking up.
Okay, that's all right. We got the gist of it. You're with us. I just want to make sure you're back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. I just wanted to kind of talk about this center over here that you're talking about. So there's a fitness center. So that's great. They got pickleball and tennis, which we could see in the shot there. Resort style pool with a giant slide. Who doesn't want like that's like the same types of slides you see over in Disney. That's wild right there. Who else? Is it Bellagio or Seven Oaks has one like that in Wesley Chapel, right, Stacy?
Seven Oaks, yeah.
Yes, Seven Oaks has one like that too, which I love. So you've got the green space, the kid zones, and then this is the club that you were talking about. So dining at the Harvest Club, so that's what it's referred to. The Grand Oak Hall is an exclusive Harvest Club in your clubhouse restaurant, gathering space for any dining that you'll need. There's a director there of experience, which is pretty typical. And then it gets into some of the homes. So this is great. I don't think I've been in an Ashton Woods house yet. Ladies, have you been in one of their properties?
I have not either.
No.
Okay, we gotta make it a point.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe we can go get some content out there for everyone for the Ashton.
Yep. Yeah,
models.
We'll definitely dig in for everybody out there. We'll get into the weeds on the topics, no doubt. Cool. Okay, Madison, we're going to come back to you because you want to take us out to another community. We will definitely do that. Let's hop over to Stacy real quick and talk about the most exciting topic. It's 10 times more exciting. No, I'm honest. It's 10 times more exciting than data. I know that for sure. So let's get into that.
It's exciting because it can save you money. How about that? It can save you lots of money and stress.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
again, it's great when it's great, and it is not great when it's not great.
So yeah.
And shout out to Ryan, by the way.
Yeah. So I want to talk
looking
about
steadily.
what?
I said Ryan's over here looking steadily. Forgive me for interrupting. The floor is yours.
All right. So I want to talk about one of the most important steps in buying a home that's often overlooked, which is the home inspection. So it doesn't matter if you're buying an old home or a brand new home, an inspection can uncover things that you can't see just walking through the house.
Mm-hmm.
Detailed evaluation of the property's condition by a licensed professional. Keyword is licensed there. Very important that they are a licensed inspector. But they're going to be looking at the am I breaking up?
We got you. The main
systems of the house. So they're going to be looking at roof, HVAC, all that stuff, all the things that are going to make the house function safely and efficiently. So that's going to be giving the buyer need to make an informed decision. So you may find some repairs that are minor and you're okay with moving forward. And then you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we literally. Oh, Stace. Oh no, dude, she was just getting into it too. All right, well, we'll cover while she's bouncing back in because I'm sure she'll come back to us. But she left off at they're getting into the major health systems of the home, right? So that was part of it. Stacey's coming back, and from there, she was talking about them being thorough, and we lost. You're right at your peak excitement, right? Are you back with us?
Was that me or you?
It was you. We got you. Go ahead, right from where you left off.
Man,
we set you back up.
Internet, let me just tell you, is the best ever. Okay, so if we find some major issues that we weren't aware of, that can help you negotiate, for money to get those repairs done, or you may even reconsider the purchase. Yep. So when you're walking through your home, we can walk through these homes they look fabulous, right? They can have freshly painted walls, new floors, beautiful kitchens, but we can't always see what's behind the surface. So some of the most common things that inspectors find are like, they're going to be looking for roof leaks that could not be showing up on the ceiling yet. Outdated and double tapped electrical breakers, which I've been getting a lot of that. I don't know about you, Madison, but in these older homes, that's been flagged quite a bit lately.
Yeah, two of my previous buyers.
Plenty of juice coming out of that thing. It's fine. That's what they do. They're in there like just hooking stuff up, right? Like, oh goodness, my house is full of that. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So, yep. So there can be leaks underneath the sink, leaks inside the walls. And in Florida, we may have a lot of heavy rains that can cause some drainage issues that can lead to settlement issues. So they're going to be looking at HVAC systems, making sure they are working properly. I just had a buyer this year who the inspection came up that the HVAC wasn't working that great. We asked the seller to get it checked out by a HVAC professional, and it needed a new fan. And so it saved him several $100s because we were able to negotiate that before we closed. So they're going to be getting in the attic and looking at ventilation and installation, making sure all that is up to par. So, because that can give you really high energy bills if it's not. So all these things can cost you thousands to repair if we don't catch them before closing. So it's really important. And in addition to your standard home inspection, there are some specialty inspections that I think are really important, and I always highly recommend them. And one is the sewer scope inspection, and that involves a small camera that's going to be put down with the home's main sewer line to check for cracks and roots and blockages. Even in newer homes, that's important, because think about all the heavy machinery that's pulling on and off your home site throughout the new construction process. Things can get damaged. So that's something that I always recommend is a sewer scope. And of course, if there's a pool in the home, you want to get that inspected, because if there's a pool leak, that's not something that's going to be obvious to the eye that you see. They're going to check out all the pool equipment and make sure it's all working properly as well. And then in Florida, we have something called a WDO inspection, and that is a wood destroying organism inspection, and that is for termites. So, you know, they say it's not a matter of if you have termites, but it's a matter of when you're going to get termites. So it's really important to get that inspection done and to also get your house treated annually.
Yep.
For termites.
And termites aren't the only WDO. You know, there are more. You know, Stacy gave you guys the highlights here. There's so many. We can give you story after story of clients who had these things happen to them, and how we obviously negotiated them, or they were able to walk away. Whatever it is, like we always tell the clients, like, this is for you. It's not for us. You're hiring these people, like whoever you choose. We put the best people we know in front of our clients. Hello, Ryan, that you see on the screen inspected my home. Listen, after 13 years, I can have anybody in this industry I want. That guy is the most detailed anal human being I've ever met. And I am so grateful for it, right? His whole team is a direct reflection of him. They've grown tremendously. They have like over 500. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with this company. We don't get kickbacks. That's not the thing. I'm just sharing this with you because when people come in and they give you a thorough inspection and you get photography, you get video back on specific issues that need to be addressed, and then somebody will take the phone call and explain it to you, who's a licensed professional, that can give you a peace of mind, right? Stacy and Madison and myself, we can't talk to specific things. I am not a general contractor. I'm not allowed to give you guidance on those things. Right? I can share our experience, what we've seen our clients decide to do, or how we've negotiated through these things, but we can't tell you what to do. But I want to give you a specific story. I know each one of these ladies can do it, right? From new construction to resale, like we had a property, Ryan and his team came out, great inspection on the whole home. They were going through the interior of the property in the home office, and they had a moisture meter out. Okay. Now, this sounds silly, but they take a moisture meter and go around all of the openings in the house. Why? Because we're in Florida. And what happens is we get a lot. We've talked about our rain. It's sideways, right? Yeah. Right. It rains in buckets and it rains sideways. So what ended up happening with this home, and guess what? This home was built by a general contractor. The home was gorgeous. He had taken such good care of this house. It was beautiful, right? The inspection was incredible. He went through and did all the things he knew were going to show up. But here it is. They're going through it with a moisture reading, and at the windowsill in the office, they put that thing up against the wall. Beep, beep, beep. It lights up like the 4th of July. The homeowner being proactive, he's like, we're taking care of this right now. Literally goes and gets a saw, right? Cuts this slot open, and it was just leaking off the windowsill. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? I didn't even know this. I've been in this business 7 years. I've never heard anybody say this. Ryan's team was out there, and our windows have what's called weep holes. For those, there are plenty of people who do know, right? But Juan didn't know. These weep holes are nothing but 2 little slits on the front side of the windowsill that allow the water that comes into the window from rain to leak out. They were just clogged with leaves and crap that you would get from any other storm, right? But because of that, it was leaking in the house, and the homeowner was like, this guy cared. So of course he's like, I don't care. I'm going to fix this, but I need to find out what's going on right now. Like, we got mold, we got problems. And it was one of those situations where it's like, it was taken care of right then. I have had other inspections in the past where they did not do that as part of their standard operating process. And that's the kind of stuff that can cost you thousands, make your family sick. Those are the things that matter. So we don't care if you use the people we recommend when you use us, but get somebody who knows the game, y'all. Right? Mm-hmm. These ladies can both give you story after story after story of inspection reports that people were trying to hide stuff, or they just didn't know. It's part of the process. Human beings are fallible. They make things, right? What did Gerardo say? I second this about the builders these days. The subcontract, the labor, therefore corners are unfortunately cut. And corners were cut when they had their own people too. But we found 7 issues when we purchased new: in the wall leaks, split studs, wrong cabinets installed, missing upgrades. This happens in new and old homes, y'all. Like, we see it all the time. Okay, Madison's dealing with this right now on a property where they renovated the whole home after it got wet with no permits.
Ouch.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's there, it's happening. So I want to thank Stacy for bringing this. I know y'all like it may not be the most sexy topic in the world. Again, we're not affiliated with Ryan and his company at Hello Homes, but they're the best people I know at what they do.
Yeah.
All right.
And I wanted to mention, I just built a new home this past year. And so I had one of these inspections done today. Actually, Hello Homes did all 3 of my inspections because even though it's brand new, like you just said, doesn't mean that you don't need an inspection. So there are 3 important inspections to get with new construction. So I did the pre-drywall inspection, which is before the drywall goes up. And the inspector is going to look at the framing, the electrical wiring, and the plumbing lines. And that's the only chance you get to see what's behind the walls. So it's a really important inspection to get. And then there's a final inspection, which we sometimes call that a blue tape inspection. And that's done 2 weeks before closing. They're going to go in and look at all the main systems that we talked about. They're going to make sure all the appliances are working, and they're going to point out a lot of cosmetic issues because you can walk the same home 100 times, and every time you walk in that home, you're going to find something different. So it's so important to get as many eyes on the property as possible before you close. And then today I just did my 11-month walkthrough, which is the one inspection I think everyone forgets about, because once you move in, life happens and we forget to do that. But I did my 11-month builder warranty walkthrough, and I'm going to, get a hold of the builder of all the things that Ryan's team found today and make sure they pay for it while it's still under warranty, so I don't have to pay for it later.
Stacy, what are some of those things that came up, right? Like you have settling, but like what are some of the things people can expect after they move into a new home, as an example?
Yeah, well, I had a lot of, on my roof, there's a lot of shingle that need to be replaced, which, during the pre-drywall, we had the 2 hurricanes.
Yep.
So we had a lot of issues before we even got to closing. But even at the final inspection, they noted a lot of roof repair, shingles that needed repaired. And they said they had gotten them done. And, I can't get on the roof to make sure. So either they didn't do it right or,
Yep.
That's a big one. Because I wouldn't know that until there's an issue.
Yep.
Some other things that they found were having some problem with the HVAC, the humidity levels in the house. So we're getting that checked out. And we had some electrical issues in the laundry room. So
what you're saying, even new houses aren't perfect?
Exactly. They're not perfect.
Yep.
They're built by humans, right? And humans are perfect.
That's right. The solid house.
Exactly.
She's got a solid house, y'all. So like, I think this is, it's just setting expectations, helping people understand. You're always going to find something, things are going to happen. The reason home builders offer those is because they know there's going to be problems a year later. And rather than having a giant class action lawsuit, they have decided that this is the cheapest and most effective way to do it. Let's be real. They're a business. We all understand it, but take advantage of those things. Okay. If y'all want to know more about this process, you are in great hands with this team. These ladies have built a lot of homes. We call Stacy the queen of new construction. Everyone consults with the queen before they purchase a new home. What I mean by that is everybody on the team. Right? Because she's dialed in, y'all. She's been in these houses. Allegra says, I need Ryan to do my inspection, please and thank you. Yeah. His whole team.
He will.
Yeah. His whole team is wired this way. They're incredible. Absolutely. Why Diggity says, you're the man. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Enjoy the channel. We're glad you do. Oh, here's a good question. Sandra said, what's the cost, Stacy? What do we see on average? Before she'll explain this, but like, it's going to depend on the size of the house, water, all kinds of stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, it does. Depends on the size of the house, and you have a pool and all those extra things. But it can range anywhere from, I would say, $600 to $1,200 to $1,500 if you have a huge house and a pool.
Yep. If you're 3,000 square feet in a pool, we always tell everybody to kind of budget around $1,300 ish. Again, depends on a few other factors.
Mine just cost $700 for the 11-month walk there. And I think I paid that for my final inspection as well. So,
And
and
you found $3,500 worth of work that needed to be done.
Yeah. Could have saved
Right.
me probably thousands more if I would, 10 years from now have a roof leak. So
Exactly. Yeah, the roof is the big thing. So not bad.
Exactly.
Sandra says not bad. Yep. You're welcome. This is why we do this, right? Like, these ladies are in the game, y'all. So I just want to share that with everybody here. Like, they're bringing you the stuff that they're dealing with on a daily basis. For us, it kind of feels like secondhand. Like, we're just doing it all the time, but we recognize that a lot of people aren't in homes all the time. These ladies see. I want you guys to count how many houses you're in next year. I want you to have like a little baseball clicker, so at the end of the year you can I was in 1,100 homes this year. I mean, it's wild how many houses that we're actually in, and we share that not to we're not trying to brag. We're just sharing. You see a lot, right? You see a lot of good, you see a lot of bad, and you see some terrifying stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And that is what the value is for a lot of people, because we relocate so many clients, right? We've helped over 200 families move here in the last 4 years, which is just bananas, right? Stacy's going to celebrate her 3rd anniversary with us. Madison's going to celebrate her 1st anniversary with us here coming up pretty soon. This is exciting stuff. We're grateful to serve y'all. If you got questions, you want to reach out to the team, the number's on the screen there, as you are aware. Also, we've got this QR code. So if you're watching this on the couch, which I know 65% of you do, which is bananas. How do I know that? Because YouTube tells me I'm not a creep, I promise. Right? They tell me. But if you guys want to talk to these ladies, scan that barcode. It'll take you right to our website. It's only got a few questions. Then it'll take you to my calendar. After that, you can schedule a Zoom call with me and the team directly so they can unpack these things, talk about these communities that they're talking about. Okay. So lastly, I want to bounce back over to Madison because she had one more thing for us, and we're finally getting through all the things that we were supposed to have this week, which is great. That means Juan did not overtalk as much as usual. As much as usual. All right. Look at this. Look at this. We got the shout out. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Sandra.
Right. Yep. One last thing. Gerardo says, dang it. Kids are home. Gotta go. Good night, everyone. Good night, Gerardo. Good to see you. Awesome. Go ahead, Madison. Take us away.
Okay. I was gonna say, can you guys hear me or see me? Because I
loud
keep
and clear.
cutting in and out. So I just want to make sure. Loud and clear. Okay. So this is a new community in Parrish. It's a new construction community called Firethorn by Taylor Morrison. So they just had their grand opening over the weekend on October 11th, and they're going to be doing single family homes and townhomes. And they have right now over 2 dozen actually models to choose from. So a lot of options.
We're not having good luck tonight.
Right now,
the internet.
They have 89 homes available. Mm-hmm. And they've already sold 17. Pretty awesome. And they have 81 coming soon. And for future phases, 19 and 53 available lots as of now. So a lot of different amenities as well. They're going to have basketball. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, we're on a little bit of a delay, so I interrupted your thought process there. Forgive me, but I was just going to ask about the lot sizes here. That's a very common question that we get from a lot of people too. So I wanted to take time to mention this. Lot sizes in this collection look like they've got 40-foot lots, and when we say that means 40-foot frontage wide. That's how wide it is. 40 feet is not very wide, y'all. Okay. They also have 50s. That's a decent sized lot in Tampa Bay. Just so you guys know, those of you that are used to 120, that is not this world. just so you are aware. No. The 120 deep, yes. 120 wide, no. Like you're big balling. You got a 120 foot wide property here in Tampa Bay, but they've got a 52 foot and also a 62 foot. Okay. So I wanted to make mention of that. Go ahead, Madison.
Oh, I was just going to talk about the amenities. So in the community, their planned amenities as of now is basketball courts, fitness centers, pickleball courts, which is very, very big in Tampa Bay. They're going to have a pool, soccer fields, which I thought was really cool because you don't really see soccer fields in these new communities. So something different, and tennis courts.
I wish I could have pulled it. Oh, here it is. Okay, my bad. Forgive me. Yeah, so this is all the things you were going through. So pickleball, you said tennis, basketball. That basketball is nice too. We don't see as many. That's starting to come back in. Have you noticed that, ladies?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we didn't have basketball courts, but they're creeping back in, which I think is really nice. Oh, and there's covered pickleball courts for those of you fair-skinned folks out there.
You're going to need that in the summertime here.
You are going to need it in the summertime. There's no doubt. So resort style pool, social pavilion, a bus shelter. Oh, okay. So there's a bus stop there. Interesting. So that must be the kid and the fitness lawn and the club itself, and then some natural playscape areas over there. So that's pretty cool. Where is this located, Madison?
Yep. So this is on the Buckeye Road or Buckeye Drive. I forget the exact name, but it's like
out by like 301.
Yeah. It's right across the street from the Prosperity Lakes Active Adult Community.
Okay. All right, I got it. I'm going to pull up on the map so everybody can see this. Cool. Firethorn. So right at the corner of Buckeye and 301. Got it.
Yeah.
Understood. So this is going to be north of Moccasin Wallow. It's going to be north of North River Ranch, a little bit further east. Not much, but just a little bit. About 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a Taylor Morrison community, and they do a really nice job. Like, it just has a look and feel different.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, ladies, it was awesome. Excellent job as always. Poor Stacy.
I thought it was me. It's like my stuff is kind of breaking out too. So I'm like, what's going on?
No, Stacy's done with the day. She's like, I'm out of here. I'm all set. That's great.
What the
We
heck?
thought you were just done. We're like, okay, she's done.
And was it my internet? Was it Madison's internet? Was it you?
That's what I just told Juan. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I know. I was so confused as to whose internet was acting up.
Love it. Love it. All right, y'all. Well, it was great hanging with you guys tonight. I just want to give you a preview of what you can expect from us coming this week. We're talking about some of the major changes that are taking place here in Tampa Bay. So if you watch our videos on Saturday, we're going to talk about how the suburbs are going to most likely change a little bit based upon all these developments we've got coming. We've got the gas works, all these wonderful developments in the area, which are great. That's awesome. Like I said, we're also going to get into property tours and community tours really heavy over the winter here. So you can expect a lot of that from us. Happy to get into those conversations. John says, can someone explain to me why level 2 homes in Florida often second level is built with wood and no block? Oh, John, well, I can tell you my reason they do it, but I don't think
with money, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think many. Listen. All right. The simplest way I can describe this is it's not code to build in the second story with block. So that's the first thing. People are always going to try to save money. Now, there are legitimate studies that have been done about, second stories, and I get it. Typically, we don't see all block construction of 2-story unless it's really close to the coast or it's D.R. Horton.
Mm-hmm.
D.R. Horton,
Yep.
From what I have seen, I think they're the only home builder currently in that level 1 or level 2 that builds all block in the second story, which is wild to me. All right, so that is fascinating. I'm not calling anybody that. Yeah, but however, it definitely saves money. Now listen, y'all, here's the other side of this. Ladies, have we not all stood in a 120-year-old home in Tampa or in St. Pete and it is still upright, erect, and doing its thing? Yes.
Yeah. Standing firm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So listen, if I was building full custom home, if I was doing that, I would have a 2-story block house. Make no mistake about it. But I also understand that is probably a $30,000 difference, which is a lot for some people. So you usually don't see that till you get into full custom. Like I said, a lot of those beach homes are full custom. So that's why you see that code requires it as well. But that's a great question, John. Great question. Yes. And to his point, Most second stories are going to be stick built. That is the term in the industry, which just means wood. Okay. But yeah, I personally would prefer to see a block because just much stronger. Three Little Pigs, man. That story is a good one. That story is a good one. Awesome. All right, y'all. You know how to get hold of us. Numbers on the screen, description down below. I'll put these resources in there as well. If you don't see them by tomorrow morning, that means I forgot. Please do me a favor, make a comment. I will do it. I don't mean to do it on purpose, but I have to wait for it to upload before I can put them in there. So it takes time sometimes. But we want to say thank you. You have all been incredible, like we said so many times before. These ladies are well on their way, and I want to advocate for them. Both of them are extremely close to hitting their number of families served goal before the end of the year here, and they would love for you to be next. Right. So they are both knocking on that door, and I would love to see them both hit it. So that's Juan's ask. If you guys need help moving to the area, moving in and or around, you know we're here to support you. And as always, until next time, go out
and live that Tampa life.
Tampa life.
We're going to get it down one day. All right, ladies. Have a great night, y'all. Take care.
Thanks. Nice.